Enrique from Canine Perspective. Today we have Bocce, 1 week board and train, 4-month-old puppy, I believe. 4 months old, around 4 months old. He's on the 280C dog shit e-collar, and today in this video we're gonna be finding his connection level, perception level, and working level. Connection is when we see that the two contact points on the box, we'll see a twitch. So that lets us know that the collar's on and the two contact points are making connection. Perception is when Bocce might look, so let's say the box is on this side, he might look to his right where the box is, or he'll look around. Working level is a little more concerning to him. So what he'll do, he might stand, walk around. He's like, okay, I need to figure this out, instead of just ignoring it. The reason why we want working level is because it'll make it easier to teach our Bocce commands, and in our training sessions it'll just be easier on him and us, so it's a clear answer on like what he needs to do to turn off the e-collar. The environment right now, I speak of the environment because the number might be higher in different environments. So right now we're in the facility. He's been here for a day. There's dogs in a playpen right here. 2 are playing, 2 are sleeping. So it could be a certain number because of this environment. So if we go to a park, it might be higher or the same. So the environment is, just keep the environment in mind. So again, if the e-collar is to test if it's on, if you don't see the connection level, you can 1, readjust it, tighten it, reposition it. 2, hit the vibrate, touch the box to see if it's on. If it's on and you want to readjust it, that's okay. You just want to start this process over again because you are moving it or maybe even tightening it so that Bocce, it might be more sensitive, and then you'll be getting connection right away. So right now we're going to find the working number. I'll start at 5. Can you see Bocce? Yeah. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. 5. I'm not tapping. 5 got him up, walking around, and trying to figure out what that was. As I do training with them, I might have to lower it, but 5 definitely got us that response that we are looking for. Always make sure you look at your number before you start tapping. You don't want to just start tapping, you don't know what the number is, because then, like I said, the environment could be calm and Archie might not need a higher number, and then you'll surprise them. So always look at your remote. Don't get too attached to the number. And I said look at your remote, but just to keep note of like what his range is. At the end of the day, you always want Bocce to get that response, so that's easier. And he's the one telling you what the working number is. It's not the number that worked last time. It's always going to be different, but there will be a range, and Bocce will let you know what he needs for that environment and that day. Hi, it's Enrique from Canine Perspective. This is Bocce, 1 week board and train, and today we're going to be going over the heel command. The heel command, the end goal is for Bocce to walk with me, stay with me, and sit when I stop. His right shoulder is to be aligned right by my left leg. And for every step I take, he takes. So if I take 1 step, he takes 1 step. If I take 5, he takes 5. The way we go about teaching this, or also, so once the command heel is initiated, he is to do all those things that I listed. Stay with me, sit when I stop, until he is given a release command, which is break. So when we go about teaching this, we start walking. If Bocce is to pass, I'm keeping him on my left side. He is to have a slacked leash, so that we can correct the mistakes, and it's easier for us to teach him to where he is to be instead of having the leash do all our teaching. So we only want the remote doing all the work. We don't want the leash doing the work. So slack leash. If he passes, I do a 180 and tap, 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 or however many taps I need to get Bocce to come back to my left side. So we keep doing that. If he passes, always do a 180 and tap. If he's lagging or he puts the brakes on, keep moving and tap until he catches up with your left leg. For the auto sits, for every turn, for every stop, we always slow down prior. So if I'm coming to a stop, after I slow down, I stop. Bocce is to sit. If he doesn't sit, I would give leash pressure up and tap until he puts the butt down. Eventually, as you practice the heel, he won't need the leash pressure to go up. You just tap, and then he should put his butt down for that sit. So yeah, his number right now is 27. Yeah, I'll leave it 20. So left side, shoulder right aligned with my left leg. Slack leash always, that is part of the heel command, no tension in the leash. I'm gonna give him enough slack so that he doesn't, or take enough slack so he doesn't step over it. And for the heel commands, always start at the left leg. So heel, tap. He's lagging, tap. Slow down for a stop. He stops. He's a little far. Again, heel. Slow down to a stop. He's passing, tap, tap. Slow to a stop. He's not sitting, so I give him tap. He goes into a down, so I use leash pressure to guide him. There we go. Heel. Slow down to a stop. No tapping. There he goes. So he was pretty much on my leg the whole time. I did need a tap for him when he lagged, and then when I slowed to a stop here, he kept going. So that right there told me that he wasn't paying attention. So I did a 180 and tap. Something else. Oh, he didn't sit. So I tapped, he went to a down, I gave leash pressure and tapped up, and then he went to the sit. And then I rewarded for the stopping. And then when he caught up, if Bocce were to try and come to my right side, I grab a little higher in the leash, pull him to the left, and tap during that. So it'd be tap, tap, tap until he comes back here. So I'm going to go over the turns now. It's a right turn and a left turn. The left turn, we lead with our right leg. So I'll show it real quick. Heel. So right turn, slow down, right, left, right. Slow down, right, left, right. Come to, or slow down, so it's right, left, right. Right, left, right. Right, left, right. So slow down before the left turns. Lead with your right leg. It's good to emphasize it at first when you're starting this. So it's the right leg like this. Left, right. Right, left, right. If you bump Archie, well, if you find yourself doing the left turns, but your leg keeps going to Archie's like side, you're either not slowing down or he's not paying attention. So if he were to keep going when you're practicing the left turn, don't do the left turn and just do a 180 and tap, because during your slowdown he wasn't paying attention. Do a left or a right turn now. So heel. For the right turns, it's a pivot, so it's left leg, right leg, left leg. Left leg, right leg, left leg. Slow down. Left leg, right leg, left leg. Tap. Dip down. Left, right, left. Slow down. Left, right, left. Left, right, left. Slow down. Stop. He's not sitting. Oh, okay, he corrected himself. All right, so the slowdowns, the leg movements are all very important because they're signals to Bocce letting him know what we're doing. Slowdown is letting him know something's changing. So if you're going for a long walk, and he's doing really good, and you need to come to a stop, it's important to slow down, because if you just abruptly stop, he's going to keep going. Slowing down lets him know something's going to change, either a turn, a stop, or a left turn, or he doesn't know. So it starts with the slowdown, and then we either stop, or if you're going to do a turn, like you would keep going with the left leg, pause, and then he's going to start turning already, and then turn this way. If you're going to go left, he's going to slow down, and then he's going to see that right leg come. So here he knows it's going to be a left turn, so he's going to start moving his body, angling it towards your left side to do that curve, depending how deep you're turning. If he goes down, I had a training session before this already with him. If he keeps going down during your auto sits, you want to correct that, because he's going to learn that he can, if he knows he's in the sit and he knows he goes down, so he's going to be thinking, I let it slide, so why can't I let him lunge, bark, and do all these other things? Why can't I let those things slide? So it's important to be black and white and very strict on what Bocce's allowed to do. So just an overview of the heel command. Left side of your body, or whichever side you have Bocce walking on. Right shoulders to be aligned with my left leg. Walk with me, stay with me, sit when I stop. I start with the left leg. So I say heel, left leg, and move. If he doesn't move, I tap. But I also keep my movement. The right turns, left turns. And then when you're done, you want him to go on a potty break or let him be a dog, sniff around, whatever, you just say break, give him some leash pressure so he can get out of that sit, and just meander around. Don't make any sense, just let him be, and then eventually he'll just be like, oh, he'll associate the word with go potty, go do whatever I want. That's the heel command. That's Enrique from Canine Perspective. Today we have Bocce, board and train. Hi, it's Enrique from Canine Perspective. Today we have Bocce, a board and train. In this video we're going to be going over the place command. We're going to be using this elevated dog bed, but a yoga mat, a towel, his own bed, anything can be used for this command. So basically I would initiate place. Bocce is to go to whatever area, so I'm just going to use this dog bed for now. So place, Bocce goes to the dog bed. He's not allowed to step off unless I give him his break command. So it'd be Bocce place, he goes on place. He's not allowed to step off, and he can sit, lay down, stand, chew on his bully stick. He can do whatever he wants. He just needs to be there on place. So I'll show how that looks. Break. So I approach his place. He goes. I don't want. Well, there's something bad, but I need something to teach. So I pull him off, and then I hold him. Place, tap. Good boy. So when you're teaching Bocce place on this, on a new item or like his dog bed, always want to start close. Break. Place, tap. Break. Place, tap, there we go. So he hesitated there, I gave him a tap, and he just shot there. And then, so the send-off is good, approach the place, say the word, tap if he doesn't go. So throughout those times, I didn't use any leash pressure. I always kept it slack. That last time he did hesitate, so I took a step forward and tapped, or I think I just tapped. But if he was to not go after I tapped, I would use a little bit of leash pressure just to guide him there. I'm not dragging him there. Break. So I wouldn't do this. I would want, break. I would want here, place, and he just goes by himself. The e-collar is doing all the work if he hesitates or doesn't move or goes the other way. So that's the send-off. And then to practice like duration, just like walk around him, tease him a bit, pet him. He shouldn't get off. It's fine if he lays down. But when you're practicing this with a new item and at home, you want to assume he's going to get off, so it's best to hold the leash like this. Break. And then for break, if he doesn't get off, place. Just use leash pressure to guide him off. You don't need a tap for that. What place come here? So when you're practicing this at home, use whatever you like. Like I said in the beginning, yoga mat. Maybe you want to get this bed. So for our, when we practice this, we have columns in here, and then we tether the dog to the column and put the mat under there. So Bocce would be on this mat, tethered up to a column. We give enough leash for him to make mistakes, but not enough for him to run around or get too far from it, and loose enough or tight enough, not too tight because we don't want him to not make mistakes. So it's loose enough so he can make mistakes, and then once he makes the mistakes, we just have the remote. We don't really need to go over there because we taught it before. So once we teach it, we already start the column work, the duration work. So if he hops off, we just start tapping, and they usually just go right back to the placemat. When practicing this at home, you can find a similar setup to tether him up and in your house. If not, you can have dog bed next to you. Sit on your couch and you want to watch a movie. You would sit on your couch, have the bed right there, have your remote. Always have a leash on when you're practicing this in the beginning stages, and just step on the leash. And if you feel tension on the leash, he's obviously getting it off, and then you would tap and then bring it back to place. What you don't want to do when you're starting this is have him on his bed, say place, and then walk away, because most likely he's going to be making mistakes or testing you. So always have a leash on him at least. Be close to him when practicing this. And then for duration, however long, there's no requirement, or however long it's all personal preference. So if you want him there, if you want to teach him to be on place for 4 hours, or let's say you want him to be on place for an hour, you would practice for 2 hours so that 1 hour is easy. What else? Reasons why to use this command. If you're cleaning the house and you need him to go somewhere, he's probably like bothering you, he's like following you around, just say place and just continue cleaning the house. If you have a friend come over and they don't like dogs, tell him place and he can mind his own there. And that's it. Patrick from Canine Perspective. Today we have Bocce of Board and Train, and in this video we're going to be covering over the stay command. So right now Bocce is in a heel, so I wouldn't tell him sit or anything like that, because he's already in the sitting position. Oh, tap. So I would say stay. Sit down, place all have implied stay except the heel. So this is how we work it. Stay. Pivot out the right foot. Do a little walk around. That's one walk around. If you were to get up, I would give him pressure up there. Pull up and then tap. If he decided to like turn and face me, but his butt is still on the ground, heel, I wouldn't correct that because the butt is still on the ground. So one more time. Good boy. Wave the hand, stay, pivot out with the right foot. The reason why we pivot out with the right foot is because our left foot is for the heel command. Body language is very important with the e-collar obedience. So like heel is left leg. So if I start off my left leg during the stay, you might see him get a little confused or wondering, like, am I in the heel, or because I saw the left leg move. Because in their side vision, the peripheral vision, they can tell what leg is moving and what to do or what to expect. So in more advanced training, left leg, no words are spoken. So then it'd just be body language. So left leg is heel, right leg is stay. So depending on which leg you start off, that's what the command will be for Bocce to follow. When practicing this command, you can stop at a stoplight. If you're in, like, Home Depot allows dogs, PetSmart allows dogs. So like if you're in like the side aisles, going to the main aisle, like the main aisle, you can stop before the aisle. So tap, tap, stop before the aisle, give them a stay, pivot out, look to see if there's any traffic or any dogs, anyone coming, see if you're clear, then you go. If you're at the stoplight, it's just good to practice, just say stay, then walk around him. If you're in a heel, give him a break, he goes potty, there's poop, he's kind of like, let's say he's got the zoomies or something, and he's like going all over the place, and you got to get the poop, and it's like a mess. Just put him in a sitting position, so it's up, tap, and then give him the stay. Drop the leash, or whatever phase you're in the stay command. Get the poop, throw it away, return to his side. So there's some ways to practice it. Break. Alright, so from Canine Perspective, so we have Bocce, board and trainer. Today we're going to be going over the sit and down command. So right now he's standing and he's down. For the sit command, we use leash pressure going up and then tapping, so it's similar to the auto sit in the heel video. So it'd be leash pressure up, tap. There we go. Avoid that. Break. Heel. And for the down command, so how we started, or what you can do is touch his back shoulder blades. He's already going down. So to correct this, up tap, because he is in the heel, and he's part of the heel is the auto sit. So I would massage his back shoulder blades, and then pair it with a tap. So tap up. There we go. So I'm touching the shoulder blades, tap. There we go. Break. Heel. So I'll show it again. Show right here. Tap. Break. Heel. Tap. And then eventually, once you keep practicing that, break. Heel. You can initiate the word. So be down, tap. There we go. Positioning, like he was like right here, then he kind of curved out into the down. It's personal preference again. As long as he goes into that down, and that's what we want. And the same thing with like, so staying down, sit and down, all having an implied stay. So to practice that, like, that stay part, just go around him, get a long leash, or tell him down, go pick up his poop and throw it away, or if he's pooped, or anything really, but the stay is implied. If he gets up, just tap, tap, tap until he goes down. Yes, Bocce. And that's it. Break. Hi, it's Enrique from Canine Perspective. Today we have Bocce, and Corey's going to be helping me. Our other pack member. And then we're going to be working on recall. So we have the 30-foot leash and the short leash. The 30 feet allows us that much space to have a long distance recall. And then the short leash is to hold Bocce, so it gives us something to train. I'll explain that earlier if we see it later. But the reason why we have these leashes is to make Bocce complete the command. If we didn't have these leashes, it'd be a pretty big mess. And the long leash is to help Bocce guide him to me. So when we start, if I wasn't using this long leash and I just started tapping, the first thing Bocce's going to think is to get closer to Corey. I'm going to be 30 feet away with this leash. Corey's going to be 30 feet away. He's going to have Bocce. So if I start tapping, because I'm going to have the e-collar with the long leash, Bocce's going to think heel or sit, something in Corey's vicinity. But with this long leash, I can use pressure, very slight pressure, pair of the e-collar, and then it'll guide him to me. Another reason why we want the long leash is to make him complete it. So yeah, he does have 30 feet to go the other way or past me. That allows us to correct the mistakes and to make the command be completed. So right now we're going to not use the word, we're just going to use the long leash and the e-collar. I'm going to have the leash very tense, so there's pressure. And then I'm going to pair it with the remote. I'm going to take 3 steps back, really make it dramatic that I'm backing up, big steps. The reason the backing up is very important is because if Bocce, it's a visual for the dog. So eventually when the dog sees you back up, he's going to think recall. Another example, it would be if Bocce's in this environment where he can't hear you. So if you're yelling for Bocce, Bocce come, and you're tapping, he can feel the tap, but he can't hear you. And once he sees you and he sees you moving back, he's going to think recall. So leash pressure, pair it with the remote, back up. So he sees it, and then take 3 steps back, stop, see what he does. If he passes me, I turn, face him, 3 steps, 4 steps back again, and then stop and see what he does. But anytime he passes me, I'm always going to face him and keep tapping. While he's making his way to me, I'm going to be reeling in the leash. So we'll just go ahead and start. So leash pressure. I'm not tapping yet. I'm not tapping yet. I'm not tapping yet. I'm not tapping yet. What are you doing? I said I'm not tapping. I'll say tap, yeah. I'll say tap. Once I start tapping. So here's leash pressure. Tap, 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 tap. Deep drop. Tap. Back up. Hold. Great. So right there, he had a little trouble because he was a little tangled up. We did not pause the moment to untangle him. I worked him through it, and eventually he completed it. We don't want to stop and untangle him unless it's like really bad to the point where he can injure himself. We don't want to stop and untangle him because it counts as a distraction, so it's kind of like a real-life experience. No matter what is going on in the environment, Bocce is to complete the command. I don't think you're in the shot. Right? So here's the leash pressure. Tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. Great. So on that one, he was coming, but he was going a little off the way. I was tapping, wasn't really concerned about it. So I bumped my number, and then you saw that speed. Once he felt the remote and felt the leash pressure at the same time, he moved a little quicker and directly to me. So leash pressure, not tapping yet, tap, there we go, tap, tap. This is okay right here. He's sitting behind me, you can't really see. Great. Leash pressure, tap, 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 tap. Great. So now, before I start cueing the word, instead of leash pressure and tapping, I'm going to tap then leash pressure to see if he can recognize that just with the tap alone, it can mean to come to me. Tap, tap, there we go. Great. Tap, tap, tap. Great. Keep it up, off to the spot. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. No leash pressure there. He's a little slowing down right now, so I'm going to back up and tap. He's stiffening, so tap, 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 tap. He's tangled, tap. Good. Break. going. Tap for the sit. Yeah. Break. So now I'm going to issue the word, just to show you what that looks like. It's going to be Bocce come, tap, and then leash pressure if needed, and backing up as always. Once we start issuing the word, a tap is to always follow the cue. Let's say you say Bocce come, he hears you, you tap, but he's already making his way, and you tap too late. You tap too late. He's going to think he's doing something wrong and might head back to Corey, stop, or run away. So we want to tap after we give him the cue to make him, we'll cause confusion, but then we'll clarify it by, no, even though I tapped late, you're still to complete the command no matter when I tap. So it's going to be Bocce come, tap, back up, take a few steps back. That's it. And then if he passes me, we don't say Bocce come again, we just face him and then back up and tap. And right here, he's trying to beat me before I tap. So that's why we have the short leash and another person. So Bocce come, tap, there we go. Very good. Great. So I said Bocce come, tap, and he immediately shot forward. Bocce come, tap. Very good. Great. Bocce come, tap. Tap. Great. So right there he paused just to stare at Corey. I backed up and tapped, and then he immediately made his way to me. His arm. His right arm. Alright. We'll do one more. Yeah. Bocce come, tap. Tap. Break. I'm almost set. Almost set. I can explain it now. I'm working, practicing this at home. It's good to have two people to do this exercise. It's good. Other things you can do is go to a park, or if he has good prey drive, go to the park, have the long leash on him, break, and have him go chase whatever squirrel, birds, or whatever. And out of nowhere, randomly, Bocce come, tap, tap, back up. And then you don't want to drill this out too much, because you do want Bocce to learn that he can play, but when you call him, he has to come. if you drill this out too much back to back, he's not going to want to leave your side. He's just going to want to just stay with you because he's like, well, you're going to call me anyway, so why would I want to go play with my dog friends or chase ducks or squirrels? But yeah, this exercise is to complete that off-leash recall, so that in case if you don't want Bocce to be an off-leash dog at all, but you would still want this command, because if Bocce ever got off the leash or escaped the collar, you want to have the recall drilled out and practiced to prepare for that moment if he ever does. If he's ever in a situation where he's running away, you want to call him immediately with the collar and have him complete the command. All right, next.